On the other hand, NRM does not have strong democratic credentials to write home about, and I believe largely they cannot give what they don't have. If you look at the character of the ruling party and how they've run government, I wouldn't score them as a democratic or a group of Democrats. I wouldn't do that. But given that they operate under the structure known as the Constitution, they seem to be like a popular party holding primaries, but their character in government is largely one thing. They have violated all principles of governance, up to the extent that they are the only government in the world that I know of that conducts abductions of their citizens. So really, that is not a democratic plus. Yes, the NRM is the party in power. Citizens have been missing thanks to security agencies, which they had. So they are responsible for abductions of Ugandans. And other than terrorist groups. Direction. No, I'm looking at the character of the ruling party. Other than terrorist groups, I don't know any government that abducts its citizens except NRM. So having said that, if you look at the president wrote 3 letters in 2 days. It's like he was not sleeping. And for me, I'm looking at a scared chairman of a party who is scared for 2 reasons. One, the bungled primaries will produce many independents within the party. And many independents, because the legitimate winners were rigged out, they will most likely defeat the fraudulent flag bearers in the elections. So that's one reason why the president is panicking. The second reason, if you have multiple...
Is he panicking or is just...
2 letters in 3 letters in 2 days.
Maybe as a leader of a party...
I'm coming why I call it panic. Right. I will justify my comment. So the second reason why I think he is in panic is because if you have multiple members contesting for a seat, they will divide their support and create a gap for opposition to defeat them. So for me, that's the reason why the president seems to be bothered. But otherwise, in his usual form as Sebaranye, he wouldn't be bothered about the malpractices in elections because that's how he survives. And I want to compare with the Kawempe by-election. Kawempe by-election was really a big fraud by security agencies, JAT, UPDF, police, whatever it is. And I blame all that on the party in power. They are in charge of government organs. And if they've lost control of these organs, they better tell citizens that as a party in power, they've lost control of state institutions. Unless they come to that, admission, we shall always blame them for the conduct of state institutions under their regime. The army rained terror on citizens, on journalists, on observers in Kawempe. Why didn't the president order arrest of the people who drove members to Kawempe, of the people who commanded members to go to Kawempe? For the first time, Ugandans saw a member with more than 100 guns driving through a polling station. Why weren't those soldiers arrested? And why is he more active in NRM primaries and not considering the national elections? A president of a country is not just a party chief or a village chief. He's the president of everybody. So this hypocrite concern of malpractices in party elections, while bungling the national elections for citizens, while bungling the sovereign rights of Ugandans, it is not a democratic concern. It's a hypocritical concern.
So you still insist that whatever happened in the NRM was meant to happen? Is that what you're trying to say?
They are not democratic. I've said why I don't consider them as a group of Democrats. I have justified that. They have bungled the rule of law in the country. They have weakened all institutions of governance, including parliament, which they recently bribed with 100 million to pass UPDF Act. All those are not democratic credentials. And that's what NRM demonstrates in their leadership.
How about the fact that, like Major here has stated, that they have internal mechanisms to actually address some of these issues? They knew
I
what
have
was
said that structure on paper, they have systems to exist under multi-party dispensation. But their character at the national level does not demonstrate any democratic credentials. You send the army to raid parliament. You send the army to beat up MPs in chambers. Are you a democratic leader? A democratic leader cannot do that.
Spectrum X1 Radio 1 FM 90. We're doing